All right. Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Breakfast with the Thomases. I am your host, Alvin Thomas. Glad to have you with us this morning. And we got Miss Ruby in the space on Clapper. She'll be coming up on stereo very shortly. That's stereo on our YouTube channel. We're getting ready. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're giving everybody a few minutes to get into the space. It is so exciting to be here. It is Breakfast with the Thomases, and it is Work It Out Wednesday. It is going to be such an awesome show. Y'all guys, you got an opportunity to sit with us at the table, and it's like so cool for you guys to be here with us. You know, when we came up with this idea a while ago, this was like we started our podcast out on a strictly audio because we wanted to see how the conversations would go. And the conversation was mostly stuff that we talked about every morning amongst ourselves. And normally it'd be like, sometimes the arguments get very heated, and I'm laughing now because now that I think about it, we're doing the same conversation that we have every morning, and we're doing it in front of we're doing it live on stereo, and it's like it's interesting. It's really interesting, A lot of times it ain't always pretty, but it is always truthful, and you know what you will get. You will get truly myself, and you will get Miss Ruby in the space. Who we are, what we are. We're real people. We're not, we teach a program at P2G Networks, and sometimes you'll see us as avatars in the space. We're real people. So if you see us and you want to say something about what the show was, by all means, hit us up, tell us, and you can always hit us in the description in our YouTube as P2G Live, P2G TV, and we're always, let me see. Here we go. P2G Networks TV. You want to take these? You don't have any on here. I missed that. Yes. Good rising, grand rising. We're getting ready to get started. Miss Ruby, let me know when you need me to bring you into the space. We are live, grand rising. Welcome. We're getting ready to get started. We have a couple things we want to share with you today. And Work It Out Wednesday, I got to really say, and Work It Out Wednesday is probably the funnest show that we have. And because you know what? There are times when we do Work It Out Wednesday, we get people in our audience who actually come up and say they have something that they want to talk about. And sometimes if we know the topic, we can talk it up. But if we don't know it, we will circle back around to it once we understand what the topic is. Sometimes when we get stuff on Work It Out Wednesday, it'd be like, we can't air that conversation on that kind of thing because this is not what we do. This is edutainment, but certain things you just can't put on TV. So, ladies and gentlemen, we always want you to like and subscribe to our show because we have a lot of fun doing it. We always have a lot of fun doing it, and we invite you to come out with us. Let me see what we got here. Let me do a little bit of talking to you guys today. Today we're going to talk about, let me really get you guys into the conversation of what we're talking about today. Today we're going to talk about the financial reset. And one of the things about the financial reset is the fact that the country is currently shut down, and the fact that offices are closing is one part of it. The other part is, how does that affect you directly? And if you're in the system dealing with these things, let me know. I think Miss Ruby's getting ready to come into the space. Thank you. Okay, that's a lot better. That is definitely a lot better, so we can actually be in the conversation. Miss Ruby's getting ready to come back into the space. But we're talking about the conversation is mostly about not what's going on the outside, but what's going on the inside and how you get to position yourself so that you can be ready for the shift. We'll talk about it a little bit later. We'll talk about it a little bit later when we get after the video. But one of the things you really got to get in place is that a lot of times when countries shift finances, they depend on gold to level things out. But the question is, the people who have the goal, is it usually the people at the top or is it the people at the bottom? Ms. Ruby and I do share about where you can get it and how to get it, opportunities to get it. But what happens is the question is not if you get it, but when you get it. And when is very important. When is very important because right now, the time is now. The when is now. All right. All jokes aside, the when is now because the U.S. government has been changing over a lot of things. And just like the last time they did a switchover, you guys remember they called it COVID. They called it COVID and they sent everybody home to, lick their wounds and told you that we will take care of you and we will protect you and we'll make sure that you have money to survive. And that was all fine and good until they realized that they couldn't, that was unsustainable. And they realized it was unsustainable, but it served the purpose to test what they wanted to get done when it was time to do the actual reset. People have to wait for money. There were food lines out there. People were standing in the streets trying to get meals and meal bags. People who normally had a paycheck living week to week was in a position where they had to realize, wait, how am I going to cover my bills this week? And then lo and behold, hold on, here's another patch they put in place. They gave a moratorium to people to not pay their rent. Not that you didn't have to pay it, but a moratorium so you can get it later. They can get back to it later. If you were paying it yourself week to week, if you were getting paid week to week, and you were struggling to do it, but now you got a moratorium and you have that extra money, what did you do with it? That temporary what did you do with that money? Did you spend it? Or did you do something that will change your position in the game? And that's what we're talking about today. Really listening to what you can do for yourself to change your position in the game. Because when the reality of it comes, the only person coming to save you is you. You are your own life preserver. Now, the only thing that's missing is knowledge. And knowledge is key to maintaining any wealth. All the wealthy people who are out there, they operate two particular ways. One, they always work in a system. And two, they always work in understanding how money actually works. They get the education behind it. And education is key to maintaining any system or any wealth production process. And that's what I really got for you today. And I want to really, as soon as we get this thing up and running and we're ready to go, I want to thank the people on Stereo for being with me today. I want to thank the people on Clapper for coming in, and the people who are live on P2G networks as we streaming. Thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate you sitting down at the breakfast table with Breakfast with the Thomases. Let me know if you give me a thumb, I'll know that you're in, and I'll pull back so you can actually say your greetings and let me know that you're able to say your greetings today. Okay, I believe. I believe she's still working on sound out there, so don't. She's still working on getting her sound up this morning. So, like I said, Grand Rising to you, and what I want, I'm really excited about what's been going on. Things. The P2G networks is actually evolving itself. It's really coming into a new position in the world of podcasting and streaming. And as we do it, we're coming live to you, which is really, we've been doing this for a couple, I want to say about a week and a half, trying to get all the things in place to get it ready to go. And I'm like, I've been so excited about it. I've been having a ball with it. I've really been having a ball with it, and I think that you guys, if you come into the conversation and join the conversation, you'll get a lot of information. Because what we give you, I believe what we share with you is priceless, but it's not information that's in a vacuum. It's information that you can use and get ready for, and take on and be ready to be in the system. Create your own system for you and your family so that you guys can get get into the wealth gap and close it so that you guys are in a position to take advantage of it. Miss Rue, let me know. There we go. We got the light. No sound.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me now? All right. Okay, so that's better. Now we're getting some sound here. I can't let the live play out loud. Thank you, everybody, on all platforms. I want to thank you all again. We're talking about coming out the other side of an actual current wealth shift and how to do that safely. Guys, I'm not gonna say that everything's going back to normal and that we're waiting for things to get back to normal. The government will put things back in place for us. I'm here to say that the wealth shift is upon us, and there are some things we've got to be in action about right now. We cannot take this lightly. You've never been here. Your great 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 grandparents were here. You weren't in the world at that time. The world for them looks very different, but this is our time. They didn't have technology. We do. They didn't have the connections to the other parts of the world that we do. We have exposure. But what happens is we have too much exposure, so we have confusion. Back in the day, in the early part of the century, the 19th century, I'm sorry, the 20th century, because remember, we're in the 21st century. Let's talk about it. Early 19th century, my question is to you all. How many people were complaining that they were depressed? The Great Depression, no one was complaining about being depressed because there was no time. That was the greatest time in the world. These were the greatest producers in the world through the worst circumstances. They had physical illness, a lot more exposure, less information, especially less connection and communication. So governments had strong states of police states. Oh, yeah, guys. Then on top of that, there wasn't a bunch of propaganda. Oh, there wasn't a lot of news. People weren't watching stuff. They didn't get to shift the story. They let people's minds run. And when people decided I didn't have time for that, I have to feed my children, I have to figure out how to put food on the table over watching what rich people do, it was easy to take the wealth and shift it forever. They changed. Who's the they that we're talking about? Because most people don't even know who the boogeyman is. Do you even know who your boogeyman is? That's the important part. Are you aware of who your boogeyman is? Who the they in your life that keeps you down? And are you focused on that? I hope not. Because there's way more stuff for us to be paying attention to right now. Time frames are changing. Things are happening in the world that affect all of us on a very level, like street level. And I think people are not realizing that street level that we're talking about is your home. It affects how your home functions. Prime example, got a relative. He works for the federal government. Yeah, he's a part of that shutdown. But he's got to work. He can't just not work. His job is essential to national security, believe it or not. You see what I'm saying? And he's waiting for a paycheck. The shift is going to be that they're going to cut your check, not give you any reprieve, because this isn't COVID. It's different. The only emergency funds that will be available are through banks that help you by giving you loans. Come on, people. It's time to have this conversation. Y'all want to talk about it? Look a little too nasty for you, don't it? Looks a little too nasty for me, too. Okay? Looks a little too nasty for me, too, but I see the lining. I see what's happening. How about you? You guys see that? Can you feel it? How many people are actually stocking up on food and items? Because there are people in large droves in the federal government that aren't working. And they don't know when their next check is going to come or if, because a lot of people could end up without jobs once they truly reduce the government. My question for you is, what do you think those people are thinking? They're thinking coming down on my last of my money, because those people didn't save. And if they did save, it's sitting in an account right now that's dependent on a stock market, on markets, on money that is reducing in value. So let's talk about it. We're not going to explode your world. We're going to expose your world, and then we're going to bring you back. We got a little bit of I like putting up some information. So come and have a seat with me and my husband. We are the Thomases. Mr. Thomas, you okay? You cool? All right. So the folks that are here on Clapper can't see at least one of us. I'm trying to get us in the visual, guys. I'm trying to get y'all in the visual. I'm trying to get y'all a visual of this. But the conversation is the most important thing. So let's do it. Let's have it. Come on. And those who would like to get a better view of this, if you're on Clapper, go to YouTube and put in P2G Networks TV. P2G Networks TV is where you can subscribe, okay? You can get notified in the information. If you want to get a cleaner version of this, those who are on Facebook already and on YouTube, please, and we want to thank you guys for being up this early with us and in the conversation. So we're going to get started. Today is Work It Out Wednesday, and we got some things to work out, my sisters and brothers. It is time. So let's get on it. All right. Let's make her much bigger.
Something massive is going on right now with gold. Over the last 3 years, gold prices have almost tripled with no signs of slowing. Yet most experts are completely oblivious as to what is causing this relentless rise.
Gold is at 4,000 and I have no way of explaining it.
Gold is not signaling any problem against the dollar. It's something else that's going on.
But the truth is far bigger and far more wide-reaching than any of these so-called experts either understand, are willing to, or able to admit. The truth is that gold is being repositioned back in the center of the monetary system. And realistically, the prices we're seeing today, well, that's just the beginning. But while this might be great news for anyone holding gold or about to hold gold, it also cannot be understated just how serious this is for the dollar and any dollar-denominated assets, meaning each and every one of us will be impacted as this reset accelerates. And there will be many who are vulnerable, unprepared, and therefore poised to lose everything. But that doesn't have to be you. Right now, the U.S. is drowning in debt, almost $38 trillion and counting. But it's not just the size of the debt that's the problem, it's the speed. By the time you finish watching this video, it will have already gone up $62 million at a pace that's accelerating. But to make matters worse, roughly $7 trillion of that debt comes due every year over the next 3 years, meaning that the U.S. has to roll over, refinance, resell that debt just to keep the lights on, all while issuing even more debt to cover new deficits, meaning the United States needs buyers. 25 years ago, USD assets, which includes U.S. treasuries, U.S. corporate bonds, and other dollar-denominated assets, accounted for roughly 75% of total foreign exchange reserves. But today, that number is closer to 56%, and in a few years, it will be less than half. But why the decline? Well, over the last few years, something big has changed. In 2022, the U.S. froze and seized hundreds of billions of dollars of U.S. reserves from Russia. In that very moment, central banks around the world realized as long as they held U.S. reserves, well, the reserves were never really theirs. They were always going to be vulnerable. And while it is true that there are no other fiat currencies that come close to dollar dominance, central banks aren't interested in fiat currencies or currencies that aren't backed by anything real or tangible, when instead they can store their wealth in gold. But gold, it doesn't have that counterparty risk. It cannot be sanctioned or frozen or printed into oblivion. It sits outside of the current Western-led dollar-dominated system and is being repositioned back into the center of the system the way it always is during every reset. Because when trust breaks down, the way trust is breaking down right now with fiat currencies, with central banks between nations, well, gold always is the one true, trusted, true store of value, true wealth. It has outlived countless wars, regimes, governments, currencies, you name it. It always comes back to gold, whether you are a nation or a central bank or an individual. This year, for the first time since 1996, the value of central banks' holdings of gold is higher than that of U.S. treasuries. This is a vote of no confidence, not with words, not with a raised hand, but with actions, and the beginning of the end of the dollar's dominance as the global reserve currency. But this isn't business as usual. This is a massive shift. See, the dollar has been the global reserve currency for 80 years, a status that has allowed the U.S. to rack up and finance these massive debts. But as demand for the dollar wanes, something we are watching happen in real time, it sets the Fed up to fire up the old printing press. But if history is any guide, the government, the media, those in positions of power, they're not going to tell us what's going on. They want to keep the masses calm. In fact, we're already seeing that happen right now. But before I tell you what I think is coming next, I want to hear from you. What do you think they're going to do to keep the illusion alive, to squeeze all the juice out of the system they can, to tell us that everything is fine even though the house of cards is collapsing around us? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Because the Fed is going to be forced into more desperate measures, and they're going to call it, a nice liquidity injection, a stability measure, whatever they want. They just want to make sure that no one's panicked because they don't want anyone out there finding a way of protecting themselves outside of the system. It only works if they keep the masses inside of their control. But this is when we move from a debt crisis to a currency crisis. They could be one and the same, but really we will see inflation turn into hyperinflation, confidence in the dollar is going to collapse, and of course, the devaluation of the currency in your wallet, your paycheck, your savings is going to rapidly escalate, meaning that life as you know it will change because prices will be so out of control. But this is when they change the rules, the terms, the value of the currency itself. Sometimes it could happen overnight, right? We've done it before. Look at what happened in 1933 with gold confiscation. President Roosevelt confiscated American citizens' gold bullion. Rare and collectible coins were exempt, which I always call out because it is so important to make sure that when you are protecting yourself with physical gold and silver, you work with someone you can trust who understands not only history, but laws, as well as what you're preparing for and what's coming next. But what he did was he confiscated that gold bullion and revalued it overnight from $20.67 an ounce to $35 an ounce. Guess what that meant? It meant that everyone who held their wealth in dollars lost over half of their purchasing power, half of their savings in their retirement overnight, while those who held gold, right, came out on top, even more wealthy than they were before. That's how this works. What about you? Can you afford to lose half of your savings, half of your retirement, half of your paycheck, just all that cut in half overnight when times are as tough as they already are? Or would you rather make sure you're protected with physical gold that has withstood the test of time? Something history has shown us time and time again is how you are going to get through this reset. A reset we know is happening right now that's accelerating. And I can tell you one thing, if you are trying to protect your wealth or create generational wealth for your family, your children, your children's children, it's not going to be from dollar-denominated assets. I can promise you that much. The difference this time with this reset is it's not just one country or one currency, right? This is the global reserve currency, the dollar. That is what we were talking about here. Central banks know it. Those in positions of power know it. Those with inside information know it. That's why they're buying gold as quickly as they can. Like it's cheap because it is cheap compared to where it's going next, compared to the failing fiat currency. That's the truth of it. Now, I know this is a lot of information to unpack, whether it's your first time or your 10th time hearing it, because they don't teach us this stuff in school. Why would they? They don't want us to know the truth of what they're up to and what's going on, and of course, how to protect yourself. So if you want to learn more about currency resets throughout history, and again, how you can use gold to protect your wealth, we have an incredible free resource. Again, completely free. You can download your copy of the Built to Endure report by scanning the QR code, or there's a link below in the description. Either way, get your copy today. Tons of great information in there. But also, it's time to take action. We at ITM, we are a full service, physical gold and silver dealer, but we don't.
Sorry about that, y'all. Y'all couldn't hear me. All right. So I want to say thank you guys for being on with me. I'm just a little crazy with the technology, but at the same time, ITM Trading is an awesome platform, and I am totally grateful to the having programs that do have educate their consumer, the potential consumer. We love to utilize the research and information that's out there on the larger scale. We need community. We need to understand what's happening outside of our little space. You need to know what's happening outside your town that's affecting your town. Why is America looking like America? Because I think sometimes we think we live in these small spaces. You live in America. You know what I'm saying? You are in America. You are an American, and this all affects you. Everything you're hearing about the money system, the financial system, international, worldwide, gold and silver, how it's affecting the markets. We are going to share about the crypto markets.
No sound.
Myself. No sound on which platforms we are. Al? Which platform? Okay, so I'm just gonna let you guys know. I know why it is. Give me 1 second. So let's get our sound together, because I really want us to have this discussion. Why would we be teaching about cryptocurrency? What's the point? Right? A lot of people are afraid. Let me get this out of here. I just have to put live now so I can let some folks know it's out there because we don't want people missing this conversation. Mr. Thomas, I'm back in the space with you, honey. Okay. One of us at a time. It can only be one person on at a time. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So we are going to bring this full circle. We teach crypto, gold, and silver, land. What does that mean? Most people say, well, I don't, she talking about that thing. I don't have that. I'm just trying to figure out how to pay these bills. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about. How the heck are you going to pay your bills if you don't know all the stuff we just heard about? If you don't understand that, you're not paying your bills. You are literally paying down to poverty. You're paying down till it's zero. Because that's the system that's set, my loves. That's
Absolutely.
When you see that the federal government is shut down, you go, that has nothing to do with me. Where do you think your food programs come from? It ain't the state. Where do you think Social Security? Stuff y'all paying your rent. When these people ain't at work, how your paperwork get completed? How the authorizations get completed? Sign it up. My business owner, you own a business. If you listen to this and you got a business, this affects you. How you got to pay your taxes. Those are still due. You got to take care of certain things that you got to do. You got to pay back stuff. How you going to get things when things get to, when you get that payment sent out, everybody think it's all automated. The government ain't wealthy enough to put AI in charge. They ain't got there yet. And you don't want them to. You don't want this to be a test that they can do things more automated on a lesser group. But let's stop there because that's outside your power. Because what's in your power is what you can do right here, right now with your time. What are you doing with your time? For all my federals that are not at work and not on a picket line, which is kind of stupid, y'all get off the picket line. They're going to do what they do anyway. What's your backup? You out there, and I'm going to be honest, me and my baby, I love him to death, but he works for state. Or should say he's out from working for state. While he's on right now, my husband is still healing from being hurt on the job. He going through it. And that's at state level. My question is where the state get their reserve from? Where they get that money? It trickles down. It don't trickle up, it trickles down. So who's on the bottom, y'all? You think, oh, I got a job, I'll save some money. You just learned that the money ain't doing nothing. What you doing with your time? You just learned that the money is a joke. And what are you doing with the time you have now as things are beginning to implode and do a physical shift? This is their opportunity. They saw it with COVID. They tested it out. And y'all can call me a conspiracyist, whatever. I'm safe. I'm safe. I don't let nobody else be my daddy. Y'all got a daddy. It's called Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is your papa. Been taking care of y'all a long time. And you know how you know that? When things start messing up or you can't get through and ain't no answer on the phone to things that keep you going, that's your life. That's who's in charge. That's your day. We remove the day. What removes the day? Knowledge. Skills. People go, oh, Miss Ruby, you talking about we ain't got no money? I didn't say that. I'm telling you that the dollar is losing value against the one thing you know has value. That's called gold, silver, and crypto. Silver right now is still affordable. And I just looked at the price. I'm like, ouch, damn. Because I just had to put in an order to go to get sent off to my spot. And when I put in an order, I had to hurry up because 2 days prior, the price was $1 down. Now the price is $1 up. Al, on the platform that we use at Cost Metals, it is now $55 for the minimum. That means on other platforms it's $58. because silver is sitting at 53. Y'all get on this. You could get whole coins of silver. You could get whole coins. You can get portions of gold. Right now, a portion of gold. Look, I ain't gonna lie. Right now, a portion of gold. I'm talking grams of gold right now. We looking at 150. Yeah, that same gram, baby, that I was buying. Gram of gold. Y'all know what a gram of gold look like? If you know what an ounce of gold looks like, the coin, consider a gram is a 33rd. 1/33 is 33 grams. Sorry, 31. My bad. It's a 31. It's a 31% of a coin. That's the weight. It's little. It's lit. I don't have any at the desk. Dang, I forgot to bring it up. But I'm trying to tell you, value is going up on something that you are not holding. You're not making sure you hold before you can't afford to get it again. My loves, when we gonna get in the game? Community, when we gonna get in the game? What you waiting for? What you waiting for? Yeah. What are you waiting for? Because time ain't waiting for y'all. Legacy not waiting for y'all. Your family's praying you're gonna do something. And you out here on this conversation, disappearing, getting tired. You getting tired of a conversation. Here she goes. She talking that stuff again. Come on now. I'm going to keep talking. You know why? I'm just going to put this in here. Let's drop this little thing right here for y'all. Okay? Because I don't play that. A sister like to make things available. So I'm going to just do it like I said. See, my thing is this. It's not to sit on my tail and go take care of just my family, because I need support in my community. What y'all think? I need arms. I need us to lock arms and build up, because wealthy people can't stand around poor people. Can't be around poor people. Y'all know that, right? It's not safe. People starving and you got food. They like, wait, yo, what's up? What's that about? Yep. Like they say, when folks are starving, you can't be the only house on with lights and a smell of steak coming out your door. Out your windows. I'm putting it in there, y'all. It's coming up. For those who are on my platforms, you just got the link. You want some medals? You need to get some now? Go and get it. I told my family members, for those who are on right now watching this, and even members of my family, if you're on right now, y'all know we got a family account. All you got to do is purchase. Fund the account and purchase. That's it. Fund it and purchase. And it comes to wherever you say so. Because, baby, let me tell you something. Y'all need to have a family gold and silver account, building it up. I don't care if it's just yours privately. They don't got to get your gold and silver, but go open yourself a family account. I'll help you open a family account. Y'all need to come and sit in class. Go sign up for the class, because you need to know what to do. I've been trying to let folks know this ain't a game for a little bit longer than I like. But I'm not going to stop coming on here. I'm not going to stop building up. We're not going to stop having classes. Crypto to Gold class is happening. It's the 6th. We told y'all, November 6th. You got to sign up on the P2G website. Okay? You got to get that site in. Go to the site, sign up, go to our classes. It's up there. You can pick the date. Starts November 6th. So if you don't see any on October, that's because it starts November. So pick one date and you've signed up for the month. Just pick the date and you signed up for the month. It doesn't matter what day of the month it is. It's already open right now. I'm really excited because that class has to close. Because we can't teach everybody. I can't teach 50 to 100 people. The top of my class is 25. Y'all can go to platforms that'll have y'all in and rolling through and nobody take their time, but Miss Ruby do it different. Digital financial literacy is taught in my platform. We do it the pennies to gold style. Y'all know what I'm saying? Pennies to gold style. We got our own system. And that requires that everybody gets hands-on. Y'all get coaching. Y'all get actual one-on-ones. So I don't try to blow it out. And y'all next class comes in. It's an 8-week course. It's not a one day. It's a step-by-step build on. You're going to come in. It's 2 months of your life to get it together. Y'all think y'all got time? Anybody got more time on their hands that they getting money right now? Because we right now showing people how to, right now my wallets are growing. I have large communities of information. I'm trying to let folks know if we don't keep those large communities growing, like people who do certain things, everybody bring their knowledge in, and then somebody shows everybody how to do it, how to make sure they set up. Then the next person takes it, grabs it, and they take them to the next level. Let me show you how to maximize that action. And then the other one shows you, okay, the system changed. Now let's go show you how to maximize. Now what money is still running? That's called system, y'all. But everybody has their place in this. Anybody want a homestead? That's a new conversation. How you get your homestead nowadays? How do I get my land? Community, y'all. System. P2G is not a joke. We are more than one network. We are a network of networks. We bring knowledge bases into the space so that you get the benefits of the whole community. Then you bring what you do. Make sense? Bring what you do to the space, because that's the whole point. Anybody got land? I got some folks out in Costa Rica. We not all trying to go run away into the woods, but I can tell you this right now. I'm looking so forward. Okay. I'm looking so forward to being able to go there, spend some time with my people. The way the world is shifting, we got to start thinking about these things that actually service people, right? People keep thinking that business is built on your dreams. It's not. It's built on service. You don't have customers unless people have a need you fulfill. It ain't about what you want to provide. It's about what's needed. Right now, what's needed is the knowledge and information on how to get through this. Look, I didn't make it up. Your president put it out there. He said crypto. You got governments going gold and silver. Why are you not paying attention to not? Y'all got to have a reaction to that. Stop talking about the man and start looking at the moves that are being made by the ones that are keeping you in the dark. And we bring you into the light right here at street level. Y'all see it here? This is street level. Y'all see that? We street level. We out here. We moving through trying to bring y'all along, and you got to make time for it. I was coaching with one of my peoples and telling them, you know what, you can watch all the stuff you want. You could go do whatever you choose with your time. Watch TV, watch the news, flip through this thing, get on it, give your opinions. But my question is that how much of that information are you putting to work for you? Mr. Thomas, I know you need to come in and do your thing. Let me let my husband in, because I know he like, when she gonna stop talking? But look, bottom line, y'all got folks that care, that are willing to put their time in. There's some folks out there that I know that are doing a hell of a job trying to help motivate people, but I don't motivate you. If your situation don't motivate you enough to get new information, you're not the one. And I'm not looking for you. I ain't putting no time into that. I ain't got time to save you. If you don't show up to class, then that's your business. If you ain't trying to get ahead and find out new stuff, then that's okay. God bless you. I don't hate you. I don't not like you. As a matter of fact, I love you. And everybody know that straight up. Miss Ruby I don't hate nobody. I love my peoples. I love all peoples. Because God made you. But the fact is, the only one can love you. Nobody can love you like you do. Not your family, not your mama. Ain't no lover in the world can love you like you can. And ain't nobody coming because you already there. And when you realize that, we gonna be here. Since 2018, when I woke up and loved on me. Mr. Thomas, you got the floor, baby.
Grand Rising family. Welcome, y'all. Shout out to the people on Clapper. Shout out to the people on my My people on stereo. We got BC, D Karma, and Shelby is in the house. What's going on? What's going on? Let me tell you guys. We said it the other day, and I'm gonna say it again. We can lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink it. We can't. We're willing to stand in the cut with you, work with you, build with you. But you gotta come to the table with your own passion, your own reason, your own chutzpah, for lack of a better term. You know, bring your own chutzpah. We can't bring that for you. Look, I'm not gonna give you a bunch of parables and all that fancy stuff. Like the foot is up, the jig is up. None of that. I want you guys to really take a look out your windows. Take a look out your windows, see what's happening. Turn on the news. People are talking about they're not able to go to work and they want to go to work. There are people standing on food lines who've had 9 to 5. There are people who have fancy cars living out of the back of their car because it's the only thing they got. Understand me, the shift is real. The shift is coming. Matter of fact, no, the shift is here. It ain't coming, it's here. The only thing most people are waiting to hear is, when are they going to turn the printing presses back on? And people act like that's not a reality. This country, this government that you're a part of, will do everything in its power to keep you in the dark so you don't feel the shift coming. You know, they said it right. They said it on ITM Trading. When they realize that gold is truly taking over and the oligarchs have all the gold they need in place for themselves, they're going to offer you loans to get you back in place. When you take a loan, what does that loan do? Put you in servitude to someone else for a debt. So not only do you have to get the money back that you were behind, now you're paying ahead on something that you don't even have anymore. I'm not telling anybody what they should and shouldn't do, but what I'm going to say is this, because the choice is yours. You can learn the ability to create what the wealthy do, is create assets and have the assets pay off what you owe or what you're creating, and then create your lifestyle around the assets that you created. Because we keep it very simple here. We do pennies, crypto, gold, land. Now we're talking about homesteading, which is a community-based thing. The opportunities are there for everyone to take advantage of it. The question is, are you willing to come out of what you know to take on something a little bit different that might even be uncomfortable, may not be your forte, because we're in a system where we're used to having someone else take care of all that. You know, we get these jobs, we get these government jobs, and the first thing they do is they sign you up for one of two things, depending on where you are. Your union, your healthcare package, and then the third thing I've got is your retirement package. And they just say, sign here. All they say is sign here. That means what to you? You mean all you know is, okay, I can get a savings package. My checks come direct deposit. I ain't got to come get them anymore. But there's someone else managing your money, and you're waiting for them to give you permission to use it now. You know, people in positions right now where they're furloughed or they're disconnected from their job and they don't know when they're coming back. But banking and institutions are already talking about, don't worry, we got a plan in place for you to borrow money, but you don't even know when you're coming back. So that's an open door. That's an open door for interest for them. Because the longer you take to pay them back, come to think of it, this might be the new payday loan scheme. But you know, hey, this is my thought. this might be the new payday loan game, because now you're waiting for them, and there were certain states that had protections in place where they couldn't charge you 29% on payday loans. You can check that up yourself. It's right there inside UCC's and also in Fair Credit Reporting Act. You can check that out as well. That they couldn't charge you the amount. But guess what? Now the game is changing. Guess what? Protections are being dropped day by day. You know, they already changed the code around. They already changed how the FDIC works in your bank. You think the bank is there to protect you. The FDIC is there to protect you. The FDIC is there to protect the original entity. And who is the original entity who owns that? That is the banking institution, not you. You can be used to make the bank whole if the bank becomes insolvent. Big word, insolvent means if the bank runs dry, your money becomes accessible to them. Your money becomes accessible to them if the bank becomes insolvent and they need to shore up the ends that are missing. You see how they do, like, you say you want to get a credit, you want to get credit from somebody, right? They check your credit score. Then they say, okay, you're entitled to this amount of credit. You use it, you pay it back with good money. Guess what? The bank becomes insolvent. They become a credit risk, but they have collateral. Where's the collateral coming from? Your account that you signed over to them when you signed that signature card. That signature card gives them the right to stabilize the bank so that it continues to work. And they can decide when and if you get your funds back. So understand, the game is afoot. You guys have an opportunity to work and you have an opportunity to educate yourself and take advantage of systems that are already in place that the wealthy are using to maintain themselves. So get in the game. I want you guys to check out if you didn't catch everything that we had, replay this video. Replay it on P2G. We're on YouTube, P2G Networks TV. Play it back, run it back. If you on Clapper or in stereo, rerun this, check it out. Come ask for questions. We're here for you. And I'm out.
All right, so you out like that? You just out. I guess you out. Hey, everybody. Okay, so like he said, come on. You want to come to class? Class begins November 6th at 8 p.m. We've changed the class. If no matter what your time zone, that is an even time. We have other platforms that we are also going to be recommending. Guys, there's been a shift. P2G works a little bit different than it did before. There's a shift. But one of the things we are not doing, we are not in any way gatekeeping. We've stopped. I want the people in my community of technology and finance, all of the crypto bugs and programs and platforms and wealth builders platform and wealth people platforms to know it's time to stop the bull crap and really be what you say you are. If you're a community, be a community. We don't have time. We really got work to do. Everybody's got to be prepared to be able to move and stay solid. Not everybody is. Some of us don't understand next level. So we got to be there for the ones who don't and somebody be ready. Y'all know how y'all want a family to grow? Somebody's got to be there to protect the long term because we don't all see things the same way. But guess what? Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it ain't in your best interest. Does that make sense? You have to learn. You have to hunker in. You got to be willing to take on new information. Mr. Thomas, I'm going to ask you to stop messing around with these buttons, please, and leave it like I had it. It's there for a reason. Okay? I'm going to need y'all to do me a favor. Start paying attention to your finances. Pay attention to the cost of things. Pay attention to availability of certain offices. See? And people go, well, it's okay. These are all my working people. I'm not coming for the people who are broke. in the mind. I'm coming for the ones that are trying to open their mind and really understand what's going on from the inside out. I'm not here to scare you to death. I'm here to let you know I'm not the boogeyman. Wrong boogeyman. What's really out there right now, for now, you still have control with. We're going to help you find the best way to get to what you're looking for. This is a community thing. I don't know why people are not sending this out to other people, but for whatever reason, you're sitting here getting this information. Know that this is that thing that you've been asking God for, and say, hey, yeah, I've been there. I was where you sitting right now. About 5 years ago, actually, it's about a little more than 5. I'm looking at 6 or 7 years ago. I asked God, why is my life this way? And even if I tried for a whole year to find out that there was a system in place and I had to choose. Y'all get that? There was something to choose, and it brought me into new information. So I'm not worried about everything that's going on because I have knowledge about it. I was able to get real information, not the news, but real how to put one step in front. Then I got connected. That's the other thing about when you get a little knowledge and you get to learn it from somebody and you got a good coach, you're going to get other coaches. You're going to have other levels. And it's going to be all right. And we don't just deal with that money. We got to deal with the mental health. We got to deal with our physical health. You're not healthy. And that's mostly why you're suffering. Most y'all dealing with trauma. A good portion of y'all just dealing with drama. Don't know how to mind your own business on the smallest level. But when you come around folks that are in it, you ain't got time for the nonsense. And I let you know that right now because I'm in it. I'm on it. I'm on many levels taking care of business, but I'm not alone. And that's the beautiful part. It's not just me. I have partnerships. They have other platforms. You're going to come from me, go do one thing, then you're going to get connected to some other folks that are going to take you to the next level. And the next folks is going to come in. That's how we build. That's how we change the game for generations. It's not me, it's you. You're doing it yourself. And no, you don't have 8 weeks to wait, so we don't wait. It's a play and earn. You learn, you earn. You learn, you play, you earn. You learn, you play, you earn. You do not learn and earn. That doesn't work. We've been to school. Y'all know that don't work. You go to school, you get education, and you look for a job and find out you need what? Experience. So we don't do that. You better come to P2G. We playing the game, baby. We playing with the money. It's time. You better get to P2G. We got folks in here doing challenges. They teaching you how to play with your money right into the change. Come on, somebody. It ain't about us. Never was. It's always been about you, the steps you take that changed your life. So I'm going to tell you in the famous words of Marcus Slade Bay, one of my brothers back in the day, still to today, you better come to class. It'll change your life forever. And I'm only saying that because it saved mine. 40 years is a long time to find out that you've been standing still. 45 years is even longer. Just to wake up and have to stop on a dime. You have to stop this bullet train that is life on a dime to make real difference. Something had to switch that bulb for me. And that's what I do for a living. I switch the bulb in your head that says stop to go. Let's go. Come to class, y'all. I ain't playing. We ain't playing. Get on. Go sign up. Use the November 7th date on our calendar. November 6th date on the calendar. And anything after that, you can still sign up. The class will only be open for 1 month because people can only get in 1 month. You got to sign up for the next class after 1 month. Okay? And your classes, You're paying for the class for a month. It is not a daily price. It's just available daily. So you go and click once and you are a monthly member. For that month of the first day of learning, you are set up. But you got to sign up ahead of time because you need your syllabus. You need your information. You need your links to get started, right, y'all? You need to get the head start to get started in class. Let's go. All right. And with that, to all the people that are watching, we say thank you for being on with us. Don't let this die in your head. Connect. Come join us. If you want to join us in the conversation space, we got P2G Networks. We now have a scholar. I have a student chat room, chat space, but we also have a free chat for our on Telegram for you guys. Come on in. Let's have some conversations. Let's see what's going on, and bring the community because we ready. We got you. It's time. No more gatekeeping. Ain't nobody here to hold you back but you. Let's go. Peace and love. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for being on with me. Everyone on the platforms, Stereo, those who are on Clapper, thank you so much for dropping in. You know, I gotta say something before we go. I just want to tell y'all, I've noticed that the Clapper audiences have been coming in, and we don't ask y'all for nothing for these platforms, for our streams. We're not asking y'all for anything. These streams that we do are totally free, but people have been dropping diamonds. And by the way, on Clapper, diamonds cost money. And I'm really grateful that people care for this platform and this kind of information so much that they would take the time, stay, and leave diamonds, not just likes, but they drop value on my value. And that means somebody's listening. You have to choose who you are in all of that. Are you listening, and do you find value so you give value? Y'all get that? Because that's the kind of thing that comes back around. And I just want to make sure I give big ups to all those who have been dropping those diamonds and giving love, those who've been dropping love and hearts and everything in the platform. Look, if you in the markets today is trash, you should be making money, make money right now. Those who wanted to get a little something to what's happening, the markets are trash, and I love it. I eat trash in the markets. We eat it up. We get paid residually. Why? Because we know how. Get your ass to class. It's time to go. Let's go. Go time was yesterday. Today is work. Let's get to it. I love you guys. Peace and love. Have fun with your life. Today is Work It Out Wednesday, so go work it out. Peace.